thank you so much once again joining Valasia from Greece. And again, a possibility, an opportunity for people like us and for RESO platform to have people like you with expertise and dexterity and outstanding professional and experience practically as well. Today we are going to cover a wonderful topic, sustainable ecotourism and ecosystem conservation. And before I do that, before we pitch into questions, I would also like to, it's my pleasure to give a little brief introduction about yourself, about you. Your PhD in ecophysiology and silviculture from Iowa State University, USA. And your expertise is certainly tremendous. Eco-restoration, biodiversity conservation, and climate change adaptation. And you are, at this point of time, Director of the Ecotourism Sector at the UNESCO and Chair International Hellenic University, Greece. And you've penned down over 100 publications, books, good number of books and chapters and peer-reviewed articles, over 25 years of experience, international experience in environmental research, outreach and education. And at the same time, you're also MSc Urban Forestry and BSc Forestry Biology. This is just a tiny brief introduction about yourself. You are much more than that. And once again, we are very glad to have you on this platform, ma'am. So I would like to move on to my first question, which is certainly a very important question, says, how can ecotourism balance conservation and local economies?
Well, first of all, thank you very much for having me. It's a really pleasure being part of this effort, and it's really great to share this experience. It's more than 25 years of international experience sharing this with you. So thank you very much for the invite, Omar. Really great pleasure being part of the effort that has been doing and sharing this knowledge. So your question was how ecotourism balance conservation and the local communities. This is very important because it's hard to do that actually. And if we think about ecotourism and community and conservation, the environment is two of the main pillars that shape ecotourism. Plus, we do have, also the tourists that they go and visit on the side. So ecotourism really can be used as a mean to educate and combine all this knowledge to show the local communities how it can be sustainably done. And this is the balance to bring only by educating the people and understanding the benefit that they can get actually from this. Once they do that, and they know that once they sustain the environment, then they can achieve this long-term sustainability and the long-term benefits that they get, then ecotourism has really been successful to do what it's supposed to do. I don't know if that answers your question, but local economies can really benefit from this because ecotourism is about mainly ecosystems that they are at the rural sites also. So people from rural areas, not just the urban areas, can benefit from their economies.
Responding to this important question and your narratives are certainly wonderful and helpful to our audience. Would like to move on to my second question. Again, one question is, what are the biggest climate threats to riparian and deltaic ecosystems?
Well, climate change, any alterations of the climate really bring sometimes really big events, and they threat ecosystems, either from the floods, either from other kinds of disturbances. So I'm bringing up the floods here because the ecosystem that you're addressing is mainly the riparian and the deltaic ecosystems. So over there, one of the things is the floods, the fatalities that the floods can bring. They're very crucial. Those ecosystems, they have many areas that they're highly preserved. and there are areas that they can actually provide a lot to the production. So the biggest threat for those areas for climate change is the floods, the extreme events that we might have there. But at the same time, when we have all this activity for humans for those areas, we tend to use those as our garbage place. So all the debris and everything from the industries, they just depleted it there. So climate change is there, combined with the human intervention and all these human activities that it takes place in those areas, really poses those sites as one of the biggest threats and polluted areas for our ecosystem. So they really need to, we really need to have our attention to those ecosystems, because they're also highly producing areas for us. So I don't know if that really addresses the question. If you want me to give you more information, and I'm really happy because I'm part of many international projects that they are really addressing riparian areas, and this is part of the chair of the UNESCO Chair Con-E-Ect, because it's specifically addressing those ecosystems.
You've talked about riparian and deltaic ecosystems, and your information is certainly going to help us. Now, I would like to move on to my third question. Again, one question is, how does the UNESCO Chair contribute to global conservation efforts?
Well, these are very important information. All those chairs, including the UNESCO Chair Con-E-Ect, that is addressing, as I already told you, it's addressing, the conservation of the riparian and the deltaic ecosystems and how we can conserve those sites. We are getting involved in international projects. We are trying to, through the deliverables and through all the dissemination efforts that are taking place, we're trying to inform people about the conservation of those ecosystems. So it's very important for us to actually put into connecting, the people that they live in those sites with whatever research is taking place, and informing them about what is going on research-wise for nature-based solutions and other solutions that they're really very prone to, whatever nature connects all those efforts regarding our projects as we are getting involved. So not having only the research based on implementing all those projects, but actually trying to connect and transfer all that knowledge to the people that they're immediately related to those ecosystems. So it's very important for this to understand, and having the locals also being part of the conservation of those ecosystems. Because sometimes, projects are just projects. They're very important, but if you don't get involved, the local communities there, then most likely this is not going to have a sustainable long-term effect. So it's very important. This is what we do. We're trying also regarding to research, informing how this can be implemented on the ground with the locals, and actually involve also the locals to have this sustainable conservation of those ecosystems. Otherwise, it's not going to be for too long there. Once they see the benefit for sustaining those ecosystems and the income that they can have, then it's going to have a better outcome. I hope that helps.
Thank you so much that you responded and addressed this question in a very good way, that we understand that. Now, I would like to move on to my fourth question. Very important question says, why is the community involvement crucial for sustainability?
Yeah, I already answered that a little bit, partly at least. Community is one of the main pillars. If you don't get a community involved in those sustainability matters, then it's having only the environment and the tourists that they're getting there, then it's not going to be sustainably managed. They need to understand the benefit. They need to understand part of the functions and the structures of the ecosystem. They need to understand how to protect their own ecosystems, because they are the ones that they live there. Once they understand that, And they do, most of them do know that. And they know better sometimes their local ecosystems than us, the researchers. So it's very important for them to be part of all those efforts. If they don't get involved, then most likely the final outcome is not going to be the best. So aiming for the best is undoubtedly getting involved the local communities in these efforts.
For once again repeating and reiterating the importance of local community and their involvement. And now would like to move on to my fifth question, which is also a wrap-up question. But then one question says, what are the key trends shaping the future of ecotourism?
This is the toughest one. You leave the last for the toughest, for last, right? He has many. This is very complex. What are the key trends for shaping future ecotourism? Okay, I think this is not just a trend. Tourism in general, it has to do a lot with economy, a lot with money. Ecotourism is a different thing. It is, but it has to do with very fragile ecosystems, because usually it's connected with highly protected areas, Ramsar areas, Natura areas. So it's very tedious part of the procedure. Nonetheless, research-based, because I'm involved in many international projects that they're involved, at the EU. Recently, we've been in one project that is promoting nature-based solutions, and this is one of the main trends, promoting nature-based solutions and implementing those at those sites and sustaining and conserving the ecosystems there. It's very important to understand the benefit of that. So this is one of the trends. The other thing is creating different for example, measurements, and try to have those protocols to be the same with all the countries, like KPIs, and how we can really use those numbers in order to guide us how to best perform and how to best use all those three pillars in order to get involved the community, get involved the tourists, and also having the best for the ecosystem outcome. So undoubtedly, nature-based solution is one of them. Recently, we're working on something like that with Africa and Spain and other European countries, including Greece, and some other projects also that they involve different countries worldwide. And we are the team that I'm working, and I've been part of this. We're really feel strong very about this nature-based solutions and how this can be shaping the future of the ecotourism. Undoubtedly, this one includes also the awareness. I'm feeling very strong about awareness and informing people about their benefit. And it's really amazing to see how different ecosystems shape the cultures of its country, and how diverse a country might be by shaping the culture and the housing and the dressing and everything from the locals. So getting all this acquainted, we really need to adjust those nature-based solutions based on the different kind of ecosystems that we're working on. So, for example, I've been approached and asking to consult in areas in Saudi Arabia, really very arid ecosystems. So ecotourism really needs to be implemented a little bit differently there, shaping those recent trends, learning about this, but they need to be adjusted based on the local ecosystems and the local communities in order to make it work better.
Responding these 5 important questions, our topic was certainly a wonderful topic. Sustainable ecotourism and ecosystem conservation. We've talked about ecotourism, balance, conservation, riparian, deltaic ecosystems, and UNESCO Chair and its role, and community involvement in key trends shaping the future of ecotourism. And Thanks a lot once again joining this platform, ma'am, and giving your precious time. As you're already familiar that RESO is a platform where we try to step through the noise to cause you most relevant and reliable sociological interpretations and narratives in order to build the society to make it more human possibility with. And that's the reason we are on board today, having you on this platform to give some more database and research-based data to help our audience, to hone up their understanding, to make life more better on this planet. So that's the reason we keep conducting international and national interviews. Once again, thanks a lot, ma'am, joining us from Greece, giving your precious time.